Thank you. I wouldn't say Desislava because I know that you prefer Daisy. So thank you, Daisy, for joining us and spending this afternoon with us. So definitely, the idea of this webinar is have a discussion about your experience at IOM, but also about your career achievements, which is quite impressive. So what I maybe just to introduce you. So you are alumni, our alumni. You graduated in 2017, I think, or
Correct.
18. Yeah. And now I'm also very happy that you joined us as an adjunct professor last year. So you started teaching. So it's a great achievement. And I mean, I think for the university, the best thing that can happen, like seeing the alumni student coming back as professors. What I wanted to start with, it's maybe if you can tell us a little bit more about your overall experience during the program.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Camille, again for having me, and hello to everyone who is listening us. What to say about the program? Probably one of the best decisions in my life. Was very afraid, to be honest, because for most of you, I'm Bulgarian. So it was a big decision for me to leave my home country to go abroad to study abroad. However, I'm very happy that at the end I ended up in Monaco, just because it's a beautiful place, it's very safe, but nevertheless, the program in the International University of Monaco just gave me a lot of experience, a lot of connections. I've met great teachers, professors, and professionals who basically opened the door for not only for me but for many of my classmates to to experience and later on to find internship and to pursue professional careers in the world of sport. Overall, I'm very happy again. A lot of international students, a lot of international coaches, which is great in nowadays in this globalized world, really to be connected, to be able to learn to work, to communicate with all different personalities, because this is a skill that after that really helps you on a professional level.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, then my second question will be about the specific courses or project you particularly, which were particularly impactful for you. Even if I can imagine that accounting seems to be very popular in this cohort. So, what's your opinion about this? Like very specific courses or projects?
So we have a different topics. I really enjoy, for example, sport law. Back in the time we were studying, it was just very interesting to learn, how a contract is structured, what are the important clauses, what we should look at, even from athletes management or athletes management wealth, was a very big and interesting topic. Also, we were studying about sports management of venues, of events, with a case study of the Olympics in London 2012. So again, gives you the idea of a very good topic and very popular topic nowadays, which is sustainability. So even back like
Yes.
almost 10 years behind, again, we were talking about sustainability in sport, very, very big and interesting topic. And nevertheless, where I'm ending up, it's in marketing and sponsorship. We've met again great professionals from the world of sport. I believe that our professor were working with NHL in Canada. So he brought us a lot of how the American properties are working, how they monetize their properties. Again, for the audience, it's quite different, if you represent an American-based property with European. So again, it was very interesting. And again, we gain a lot of experience and different knowledge from various sectors in which all the students can actually get a little bit more interest, a little bit more knowledge, and after that to tailor their approach, what fits with them perfectly, and they want to pursue on the next step in their career.
So, would you say that this kind of projects and courses helped you and designed your, let's say, skills in your future achievements, career achievements?
Absolutely. To be honest, before entering the program, I thought that I'm going to end up in a sports federation just because from my background, I'm an ex-gymnast and this is how I was believing that this is how I'm going to develop further. But after having the marketing classes and specifically the sponsorship classes, my interest was like totally different. It's changed. It really was more, I found much more passion in this field, crafting new partners, finding new partners and creating some meaningful progress in the world of sport. So definitely, I would say again that the program is crafted in a way really to give you more the practical side of the real world business, which I think on the level of masters, it's really what most of the students, or at least back in the time for me, this is what I was looking to gain.
Okay, thank you. And what about like being in Monaco? Would you say that it's opened the door for also unique experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had the option to work during the Formula E race, Formula One race, the Monte Carlo tennis tournament. We also was part of the International Athletics Federation. It's based there. So again, the university is very collaborative with these different federation and sport organizations to put students in front, to meet the key decision makers. If they are like to find even an internship very, very early in their programs, not to wait till the end. The IC Monaco Football Club, the basketball team. So I think that the university is very well connected and really helps students really to find the right, let's say, platform, the right sport, and really after that, again, to further implement these kind of skills and experience further in their development.
That's for sure that being in Monaco, we talk a lot about motorsport for sure, but we try also to have different to give the opportunity to the student to meet different actors in different sport areas. So we are not really only talking about motorsport for sure, and that's important. Sometimes it's just open eyes experience.
Yeah.
So you started your career in Venturi Automobile and then you moved to ride Formula and now recently to the Wasserman agency. So tell us a little bit more about these experiences and this transition.
Sure. So at the end of my program, normally the students have two options, at least back in the time. So one was to start an internship, the other to write a dissertation. I wrote to have an internship. I was lucky enough to be accepted in the only Monegasque Formula E team. Back in the time was called Venturi. Now it's Maserati Racing.
Maserati.
So I started there. However, I also had the option to start an internship in the Athletics Federation, but it was more like event management and writing reports from one competition to the other to make it more efficient from cost perspective, efficiency perspective, and all of this. So as I said, I was more intrigued in marketing slash sponsorship. So that's why I said, okay, let's just pursue the experience in motorsport, even though I've never imagined that I'm gonna end up in the world of motorsport, to be honest. So this is how it happened. And then 6 months later, they proposed me to stay, and I signed officially a contract in Monaco. But I wanted more for a young person. I just wanted to experience more. So I saw that there was an open position in Williams Racing in Formula One. So very bravely again, I flew twice to the UK for an interview to Oxfordshire. If we have people from the UK, they understand from what I'm talking about. Playing at an airport, going to the Williams HQ twice was very scaring experience because I didn't feel so confident back in the time.
Oh,
I've met some very prestigious people in the industry like Richard Berry. Richard Berry is the person who did the Petronas deal in Mercedes back in the time. So for me, he was like looking in God and telling me what to do. And yeah, and again, by luck, I'll say it by luck, but of course, I put a lot of effort to be prepared for these interviews and final task because you need to prepare a presentation to pitch a brand and all of this. They chose me to become part of their commercial team, and I was part from the Williams team for almost 2 years. Just before COVID, I decided to leave. That was the period also when the team was almost in bankruptcy. So speaking again with my commercial director, he just told me that there is not a potential for further development in the team. So that's why I decided, okay, let's move on. And this is how I ended up in an agency side in Right Formula, where I basically started from a manager position to senior manager, and at the end I ended up as a partnership director leading a team of 4 people or 5. And again, I wanted this international approach. I have an Italian girl, Hungarian boy, Swiss boy, and myself. So we had like 11 languages just between us because I really think that this is a real skill and treasure to have and to be able to communicate in different languages. And again, from nowhere, in LinkedIn, an HR person from Wasserman outreached to me saying, "Do you want to try?" And I said, "Okay, you never know." So yeah, I went on an interview again, first, second, third, and yeah, at the end they said that they want me to join their motorsport division. And of course, in being in a company 4.5 years, almost five, I decided, okay, let's move on because Wasserman, it's one of the biggest sports and entertainment agencies in the world, and it's one in a lifetime opportunity. To be honest, again, I didn't expect it to happen, but it happened. So I said, okay, let's just do it.
That's amazing. I would say, honestly, it's impressive career, like past, even less than 10 years. You achieved so many things. And as I understand, like as I know that you have also graduated from the doctoral studies at the same time. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, 23rd of September officially.
Wow.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
will celebrate for sure. So would you say that the part of these let's say achievements and like passion and motivation and engagement from your side comes also from the university. So did the program like prepared you for this fast environment and definitely for especially very male dominated industry, let's say? So
I think so. And one of the main reasons is just the networking opportunities in Monaco. Really nowadays world, it's so difficult to meet a key decision maker, to be in front of them, to speak with them, because everybody's bombarded from different angles about different things. So just to have this unique opportunity, really just for us, not a second, but like not more than 5 minutes, people to see you, to remember your name, to remember what you're doing, and really to be, yeah, I remember her or him. It's something that I believe, at least I believe that it's a university which make it really unique, because even the department that supports the students to find internships, like they're very active, they're very approachable and easy to work with. Whenever there is an opportunity, it's posted, I think, across the students' channel, so
yeah,
everybody can apply and see what it is. And nevertheless, I know that also the university is very well connected with other like properties across the globe. So if the students wants to go to America or to Asia, again, there is an opportunity to open doors and really again for the students to try something new or something that they're interested in.
for sure. We are trying to, like, when we are talking about international university, we have to be international. That's for sure. So you've been also, let's talk about little bit different experience. So you've been a panelist of the Girls on Track event last year. So can you share your perspective about the role of women in motorsport and in sport general?
Yeah, I think that there is a real shift in the world of motorsport. Predominantly, I would say Formula One. There is a very big sustainability strategy and inclusion and diversity. It's a very big topic, especially from the social pillar of this agenda. I think that nowadays in every team you can see females representatives on a different levels, in a different departments. And I really don't want to build this stigma, but really everybody has the chance. As I said, you really just have to be passionate, to follow your dreams, to be consistent, to be persistent, and everything is gonna happen. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl or how like associate yourself by gender, but it's really whenever people see your passion, whenever they see the knowledge, whenever they see that you are a person that they can rely on, every door is gonna be open because even though there's so many people on the planet, not everybody, it's person that you can deal with or to believe that they have the chance, to grow and to provide some kind of a benefit to the company. So it is the same in the world of motorsport, cross Formula One, Formula E, MotoGP, the endurance races. I see more and more girls coming in. I'm very pleased that now this year in IOM I had 77 girls, which was very impressive. Even we had a guest speaker from Williams Racing. their commercial strategy director. And when he saw the majority in the room, he was like quite impressed too. Uh, but it's also good, to hear the feedback from the opposite side, like why, for example, girls are tricked to come in the world of sport, in commercials, in sponsorship, in Formula One, even because, 10 years ago, the sport was perceived as a male
Mm.
dominated, but now through Drive to Survive, the F1 movie, which just came out on Friday, there is a real shift, and people see that, the sport is becoming much more affordable, inclusive, and everybody can be part of it.
That's a good news, definitely. So would you say that, like, you mentioned about motivation, about passion also. So would this will be the main advice that you can give to the young woman looking to enter in the industry?
Uh, I would say so. Yeah, just believe in yourself. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you are, let's say, second level person. It sometimes can be intimidated that you're the only girl in the room, but on the other side, it's a real power which we should leverage, and I'm trying to leverage. Because we are bringing this kind of an innovation in the conversation when it's a male dominated sport, you're coming from a totally different perspective of thinking, how you see the stuff. So sometimes it's very, very, not sometimes, it's most of the time, it's very kind of beneficial also for the surroundings around you to hear your perspective and understanding, even coming from a different culture. Because back to this diversity and inclusion, the more diverse people you have in the room, the
Mm.
most innovative decision and idea is going
You
to
will
come up,
take,
and this is
yeah.
how you drive, yeah, competitive advantage in the team, in the different departments. So again, if you want it, it's gonna happen. Just, you have to be patient, very persistent, and really kind of discipline to yourself, because stepping in this world, you have to first prove yourself
Mm.
before, start asking for more, if it's gonna be a salary, if it's gonna be a higher position or whatever. But really, like, work hard and the success is gonna come.
Okay. So, thank you very much. I think that it's quite important words that you are saying for the actual current students and also for the future students. And what we see that usually sport business management cohort quite passionate and motivated. So we are sure that they will achieve a great thing. So if you're looking back on your experience at school, what will be the biggest takeaway?
Back at school, the takeaway, I would say learning to work in a team.
Hmm,
Uh,
interesting.
yes, because we had a lot of group projects, and it's not always easy to work with different people, right? So just to find this balance, alignment, who is good with what, which part to take part, what to present, how to do it, and etc. Because at the end, let's say there will be a one share mark on this project. But it's a real skill when you even go to the real work environment, right? First, how to manage people,
Yeah.
how to communicate with people, how to inspire people. Are you the leader? Are you the follower? Where you want to position yourself, right? Because when you become a manager, as I said, you gotta manage people. So you have to inspire them, to
Mm,
motivate them, to make sure that they do a good work, that they're part of a team, basically that they contribute to something. So I think this is quite important because in IOM we were working on a real life case studies, like coming from sport organizations, coming with the problem, giving us the case and saying, okay, guys, come with a solution. What is going to be? So
mm,
we have to be innovative. We should work together. We should present something that all of us we are proud of, but at the same time to align who it's who in the team, right?
yeah,
When
that's
you don't have the
important.
captain and the coach, right? Because the coach, let's say, is going to evaluate you at the end. So yeah, I think this is quite good.
Very good. That's definitely the main point that I always saying to the student because I mean that's coming from different cultures. It's not easy at all. So,
No, yeah.
so what kind like you mentioned a lot about opportunities. You mentioned a lot about what you have learned during your studies here. So, what kind of opportunities in terms of networking and you've got during your studies, and also what kind of experiences you've done here at IIM?
So from networking, we had the chance to meet representative from Puma. Back in the day, there was a lot of internship opportunities. I think that he's still coming to speak with students. As I said, we had representatives back in the time, I think, when France was hosting or were preparing to host the European Championship in football. So we had people from the organizing committee again coming and speaking to us, which was great. Um, Again, the l'Automobile de Monaco, the organizing committee of every single motorsport race that is happening in Monaco. It's a great opportunity to meet again key decision makers. Again, they're deciding who is going to participate at these events, who is going to do what. But I'm still keeping these connections to nowadays because the sports world is so small. And even though that we are changing positions, people are the same. So it's so easy when you see a person changing position, then you're just saying, "Hey, how are you? Let's have a chat," just to open conversation and start new business development instead of starting from cold outreach and from scratch. So it's something that really builds on, and it's very nice when you see these people on an event somewhere and just say, "Hey, how are you?" and what's going on in life. So I would say, yeah, a lot. And even now, when I'm coming back to Monaco, I'm trying to basically tell people I'm there. If you have time, let's catch up. But yeah, I would say just friendships because, yeah, at the end, what we are saying that first you have to like the person with whom you're gonna do business, to like what he's saying, and also to like what property they are selling to you. And if you know these three things, basically you're gonna be successful.
That's a good. All right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned changing, and I would like to ask you my last question. So, what's your aspiration for the future, and what you continue to draw on your experience from the program?
My inspiration is basically to come back to the university
Yeah.
and to share my knowledge and experience from the industry. I'm trying to provide a lot of kind of practical knowledge because most of the students they have the basis, they have the stuff from the book. So I'm coming more with what the industry requires, what professionals are looking at, what is the newest trend, what the students should be aware of, just as a next generation professional stepping in the field. So this is a real inspiration for me, just going down the line, in more educational, academical kind of a direction. But for now, in a short term, it's really to bring some new partners in the world of Formula One that I'm working very hard at the moment. Yeah, and it's not easy because it's very competitive environment.
For
Yeah,
sure.
without a doubt. But yeah, just to be good and to feel kind of confident and kind of self. What was the word? Like when I'm just to be happy with what I'm doing on a
Yeah,
performance level. Yeah,
you're doing well, for
yeah,
sure.
trying.
We see it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much once again, Daisy. It was a pleasure talking to you. And it's definitely like we see that you are passionate about what you are doing, but also you've been passionate about sport in general. And we are happy that you've been our student and now you become our adjunct professor. So that's a huge experience and a nice adventure for both of us. So probably Matilde, we have some questions from.
Yeah, thank you for the both of you for this conversation. It was super interesting, and thank you, Daisy, for sharing your experience. We quite have a lot of questions, so I'm gonna start, and some are for you, Daisy, some are for you, Cami. So let's see. Someone is asking, what are the potential employment opportunities for international students outside the European Union after graduation? The person is asking because despite completing sport management degree in Italy, she is not able to find a satisfactory job.
Daisy, you want to try?
Okay, so she's saying outside of the European Union. So I would suggest her to look now probably in the States, because we have now the FIFA World Cup coming in 2026, basically next year. 2028 is the LA Olympics. So I think that from now the IOC is structuring their basically recruiting process for people to join and to support them. The only thing that she needs to consider, he or she needs to consider, it's the visa application, because I think unfortunately due to the political situation it's quite restricted to my knowledge. What else? Sail GP, the sailing series. Big part of their management team is based in New York, so also she can look at it. But nevertheless, you have other big chains like NHL, NFL, NBA. Many of them are now crossing borders. Basically, they're trying to transfer the sport here in Europe, and there are different games that they organized in London, in Germany. So they're trying, like what Formula One did, basically to bring the sport closer to the Europeans. So that's why they organize this. And they also have local teams based in, you're not interested in Europe, but let's say in Asia as well. But as I said, it depends also what is your, let's say, administrative process and what is going to be easier for you. But nevertheless, just keep trying, finding something in Europe. I think this is probably the luckiest chance for you. If not Italy, Germany, Switzerland, it's close to Italy. There it's a lot in skiing. I think the Freeride Skiing Federation is based in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. There is a lot of opportunities in golf. Spain now with MotoGP being acquired by Liberty Media, they're the owners of Formula One. Definitely, it's another avenue that you can look at. And what we have else, I'm just thinking about Scandinavia. There is a lot in Middle East. They're developing a lot their football associations and federations. They have their own league already, and they're looking for a lot of talent coming from Europe. So definitely, I would suggest you, if you're not, so it's not only sport organizations, guys. You can also look from a brand perspective. When I said brand perspective, can be, let's say, McDonald's, but you to be the sponsorship manager, managing all of the partnership on behalf of McDonald's. So just look from the two sides of the coin, not just from a sport organization point of view, if it makes sense.
I completely agreed what Daisy is saying. For sure, I'm asking the question because being Italian, probably for me, it's logical to stay in Europe. It's definitely easier probably to find something here than moving to US or Canada or even UK nowadays. It's a little bit hard. But for sure, like everything was related to Middle Orient or Asia become very interesting. So this is definitely Europe. It's not for you. You can try these countries because they invest a lot of money in sport right now. So
Thank you. So someone is asking if you need to have a background or bachelor degree in business. So maybe I can answer this one.
yeah.
Basically, to be eligible to the September intake for the program, you need a bachelor degree. So it's 180 ECTS credit, or the equivalent would be, for example, 90 US credit. And you do not need a specific academic background. But maybe, Daisy, you could share with us what you did before the master degree to give an example to the audience.
Well, probably I'm not a good example because my bachelor was in business and economics. But I had students from this year that were in communication, in marketing, yeah, very various backgrounds, to be honest. It wasn't specifically management and business.
Thank you. Could you maybe give us an idea of what are the general jobs people end up doing after completing this master? What are the opportunities?
Should it be me again?
I can try.
Okay. Okay.
So it's definitely depend a lot about your skills, about your background for sure. So the general, I would say, like the students start with the junior position for sure. So you will be assistant manager or you will be the part of the organization team. Once again, it's really depend on your what kind of position also you are looking for. If you are working in marketing department, it will be maybe completely different than in event management. You can be also managing, helping to manage like the team. We have the students, alumni student join the the team. It can be a Formula E team, or it can be also, there is a lot of races apart from Formula One. So just to give you an example, one of my students from last year, she joined the team that won the Le Mans 24 just like few weeks ago. So she's helping the team with everything, with logistics, with the all the event organization, inside, outside, traveling, etc. So of course, maybe I wouldn't say that after our master you can definitely apply it immediately for a senior position, because it's like completely different. You need to have experience. You need to gain this experience through maybe junior positions. But you can see definitely with the example of Daisy that if you are working hard and you are motivated, passionate, and you continue learn, how to say, you are in continuity of learning process, then you can achieve a very good positions.
Thank you. Now we have a question about your professional experience during the master degree. Could you tell us what role you had in the project you were able to work on, for example, the Monaco GP?
Should it be me or a
I think that was for
Yeah,
Daisy.
it's for
No?
yeah,
For
it's
me?
for you.
Yeah.
What I did, I was working with the organizer. Basically, I was more like part from the organization committee. I know that I was managing. I don't know if we. I don't think that we have. Back in the time, guys, we had grid girls. We don't have this anymore, thanks God. But yeah, basically, I was managing this, making sure. So I was managing this, and I was managing together with Caroline. She's the head of marketing for the Automobile. I was managing the interviews at the drivers when they go on the main square in Monaco to give interviews to the audience. But I was more or less something like the assistant of the main decision maker, like helping her to execute everything on time and nothing to be forgotten, to be honest, like as assistant. Yeah.
Shadow role. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Thank you. Now we have more of a technical question. Did you live in Monaco during your studies, or did you stay just over the border in France? And which option would you advise?
So I'm not so rich to stay in Monaco. And yeah, so I stayed in France. But when we say in France, this literally crossing the street and you're in France. This is the difference is when you consider it if you live in Monaco or France, literally this is the difference. And a little bit higher in the hill instead of down where is the seaside. I was living first in Beausoleil. And after that, when I started my internship, I moved to Cap d'Aille. But also, I had a lot of classmates who were living in Nice or Es or Menton, or even some of them were coming from Italy. Because to be honest with you, even when I came this year for the classes, there is a very nice public transport, even a bus from Cap Ferrat coming to Monaco like for 30 minutes. And it's very nice, the sea view, and even the train is quite efficient. So there are a lot of options for you to find a good flat or apartment or a studio, which is going to be also cost efficient for you and for your budget. But of course, personal preferences, whoever has whatever budget, you can basically do everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Ian is asking, from your perspective, what truly makes a candidate stand out early in their sports business career, especially for someone who doesn't have direct experience in the industry yet, or just a little bit? And the second part of the question, I can repeat it later if you want. Are there any skills, mindset shift, or specific action you've noticed that made you say, okay, this was a game changer, either in your own journey or when evaluating others?
Regarding the first question, from my perspective, is just to be very proactive and really to want to learn and to listen and to see that they just have this desire to do better. Just from a manager perspective, for me this is very important. Just because I have a sports background as a gymnast, I really don't like lazy people that have a lot of expectations but don't deliver anything. And because most of the people are having this kind of, let's say, background, this is what they desire to see from their candidates. It's not needed to know everything. Of course, you're juniors. Nobody expects you to know everything from A to Z. but it's really just to have this passion, desire, spirit, positive attitude, and to be this kind of a support to your manager, and when you're ready and they see the potential, of course, that you're going to be promoted and move further in the chain. And what was the second game
The
changer?
second part was, are there any skills, mindset shifts, or specific action you've noticed that made you say, okay, this was a game changer?
Mm, 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 I would say proactiveness. Again, this is very personal. It's up to the employer and to everybody. For me, it's just proactiveness, openness, positiveness, and easy to communicate. I'm very WhatsApp person. I really hate emails, to be honest. So I'm communicating mainly even with my boss on WhatsApp. So this is from my personal perspective. I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but these are just for me things and values and skills that I'm just inherit from my previous background in gymnastics, and that I really value now with when I'm working with people.
Thank you very much. Cami, could you maybe tell us, on average, how many students are there in a class for 1 year, and if you have the employment rate after graduation?
So in terms of number of students, we usually keep the number of students present in class for one group. It's around maximum 50. This is really maximum. We try to keep around 35, 40 students in class. So as soon as we have more students, it means that we will have two groups who will follow completely different courses, let's say completely different two different tracks. So in terms of data placement, so what I have for now, I have the data from 23. And this year we did a quite good job because it was 95% of placement. Of course, from year to year, it can be changing because we know that 23, it was the year just after COVID. So everything was started like growing up a lot. So nowadays it can be a little bit less, but still once again, I would say that we are really happy because we have a lot of students that continue working in sport industry, which gets like we see also their achievements, let's say, and in their career path. So it's quite important for us to follow them. And also sometimes to ask them to come at the uni to talk about their experience or to teach.
Thank you. Now, Kimberly has a question about the pace of the courses, the number of classes, hours per week, for example, and also if there are any tips during the master degree to make us meet people in sports and create opportunities. I think that has been answered a bit, but maybe about the pace of course, number of hours, and how does it work?
Yeah. So in terms of number of hours, like the schedule of the week, so we're trying to keep around 20 hours per week. So this is the quite average number. It can happen that you will have a little bit more or a little bit less. So important information about the scheduling that as we work a lot with the adjunct professor coming from, for example, as Daisy, UK or Germany or Greece, or even New York, like US. Of course, some of the weeks you will have like the 6 hours or 8 hours of in row of one course. So this is something that you need to be prepared. It won't be so balanced as it was in bachelor degree, but this is the possibility for us to like, let's say this is the constraint for us because we want to bring professionals in class, the practitioners in class, and that's the main difficulties. And the second part was, I already forgot about what's the question, because I think it was two. Yeah, the skills. That was the point.
It was if you have any tips during the master degree to make us meet people and create opportunities.
So be curious. Try to use all the opportunities. I think the most important thing that you need to understand that being in Monaco, you need to use all the opportunity that provided by the university, but also Monaco provides a lot of opportunities in terms of different events, conferences, talks, discussion, workshops. So be curious, attend everything. Don't think that, okay, I'm good in, I don't know, I have a background in marketing, so I won't go to the strategy workshop. Or I am not good with the numbers, so I don't want to go to the, I don't know, discussion about the sport event financing. Try to follow all that you can, all that university offer, but also Monaco. Um, like what I'm saying always to the student, don't think that, okay, I'm here, I have the university offered some opportunity to volunteer for some events. Okay, but this one is not interesting. This one is boring. I want just to do F1. It doesn't work like that. So if you want to be let's say, how to say, performant, if you want to show your engagement and commitment, you need to be interested about everything. So that's, I think, the main tip that I can give.
Thank you. Do the students or alumni still have access to any university event or opportunities even after graduation?
So the alumni student, they have first of all, you will keep your Monaco edu email address for life. And then you have the access to some of the events for sure. We always try to invite our alumni students to the events that we organize with the current students or different conferences. Um, and you will get also, as alumni student, you get the access to the alumni platform. So I think we have around how many students in? I don't remember,
It's
4,000 and
more than
something.
4,000, yeah.
Yeah. So, and definitely, this is also the interesting way to connect with the alumni of IUM and maybe get some interesting proposal offers or business ideas.
Thank you. And now someone is asking if we have some trips planned for the students during the program. And because we have field trips, maybe, Daisy, did you participate in any? And Camille, if you can tell us a bit more about what we did in previous ones.
Yeah, back in my time, we went to a trip to Italy to the Ferrari factory in Maranello. And we had the opportunity to meet their HR team. They gave us a task. We presented in front of them. Then we go on a tour in the museum. But it was great. And then we head back to Milan, where we ended up in the Martini factory. So yeah, again, it was great because then back in the time, the uni wanted to combine basically the sport management with the business management program. So that's why we had basically these two stops aligned together. Yeah.
Okay. So, by the way, two information for Daisy. First of all, last year we went in March, we went also to Italy, so that's nice. And then the second point that next year we are coming to UK, to London. So we eager to organize something with you, especially because we have already visited Wasserman agency back 2 years ago, and it was a really interesting visit. So yes, field trip probably one of the amazing part that I like to do, definitely to imagine this trip, to find the connections, to create this program. It's something I appreciate a lot. So this year, as I mentioned, we went to Milan. We visited Milano Cortina, of course. We also visited Porsche Experience Center. We did the visit of the and had a very interesting also discussion in broadcasting center of Serie 1. football. What else? We did Pirelli with that we met the head of motorsport department. What else? We did something else as well. I don't remember already. Of course, we did Monza. So it was amazing. It was really interesting. And I think that next year will be even more interesting because UK and especially London offers a lot of nice um, event venue places. So definitely, of course, I'm thinking about Olympic Stadium or the Wimbledon, of course, Chelsea. So a lot of also football teams. So I'm really looking forward to organize all these visits. Yeah.
Thank you. One question for you, Daisy. In the application process, what are, according to you, the aspects to be able to stand out? And did you have any experience in sport world before you started the master program? And do you recommend getting any?
I think that first a well-written CV is very important. But the piece that is the most important is when you go to the interview. This is the moment that you need to stand out. First, how you address, to show respect to the organization, how you present yourself, how you speak, how you know your advantages, how you present them. Again, to show this passion, this interest, to make your homework about the organization, to know what they're doing, what are the future plans, how you're gonna fit in with this organization. Because at the end of the day, it's probably it's gonna sound not very nice, but a sailing moment of you.
Mm.
So you really need to shine, and this is your moment to take and really to answer to the question why we should consider you or why we should proceed with you as a person. Regarding the experience, I had, because as a gymnast, I was helping also the Bulgarian Federation of Gymnastics around events, international World Cups, and etc. But I was more from the management side. I never was part from marketing or sponsorship or commercials because in my country, this is still not a very well developed area, and that's why I'm also trying to transfer like knowledge in this side. We are developing very world-class athletes when it comes to coaching, but when we're talking about sports management or sponsorship, it's a literally zero knowledge there. People still don't understand it. So I would say that when it comes to that, from one coin, yes, I had some experience but from the other, in the area that I was stepping in, I didn't have a clue, to be honest. And I was very lucky that my manager, Michael Killerich, back in the time, was the commercial director of Venturi. He really was very supportive, very open, and I was sitting next to him and he was explaining me stuff. So I was seeing how he's doing sponsorship proposals, presentations, to the point of Camille with the creative side. We had a creative person, an Italian. He was working on Photoshop back in the time AI didn't exist. So I was asking him to show me how to do stuff on Photoshop, how to put a logo on the car, how I can change the colors on the car. So when I was building a proposals, basically I was able to do it by myself instead of relying on somebody else. So again, back to the point, just curiosity, proactiveness is just really important in these early stages for us because you're going to steal a lot of knowledge, and when you have this knowledge, this is when you can leverage yourself to get on the next stage, on the next step of your further development. So yeah.
Thank you. Now we have a question regarding internship, and so someone is asking if IUM provides the internship, or do you have to look for it yourself?
So IUM doesn't provide internship. We provide support and assistance. So the idea that, of course, in the world, especially nowadays, you need to find your job position. No one will find it for you. So that's why we're trying to recreate, let's say, the real life conditions. But at the same time, we understand that you are junior, you are just at the beginning of your career. So we are assisting you, helping you, supporting you through the discussion, workshops, organization of different presentations. It can be help with your CV. It can be help with your motivation. It can be just sometimes the one discussion with the coach, and that open eyes and get you feel better, maybe, I don't know, and then it's successful. So in general, I would say that that's the most important thing, because if the university provides you an internship, it doesn't mean that you will continue with the job. And it's something that I think for the young generation uh, seems quite good to find themselves something. It's their first achievement, let's say. So I think it's even better. It's
Thank
hard.
you.
I wouldn't say that it's easy. It's hard.
Now we have a question about the difference between the September intake and January one. So maybe I can just talk in terms of application process and eligibility. But basically, for the September intake, you are required to have a bachelor degree with 180 ECTS credit, but we do not ask for any specific academic background. While for the January intake, you need 240 ECTS credit, which correspond usually to a four-year bachelor or bachelor with honors, and you need to have studied business and administration management before, because you will be skipping the first term that is all about fundamentals. Now, maybe, Camille, if you want to add something on this, and we also have the second part of the question, which is it feasible for students to work a local paid job while enrolled in the program?
So in terms of September and January intake, I would say the only point that maybe I can mention that I'm happy that the January intake students who join the September intake adapt very quickly to the cohort, and it works quite well. However, of course, the student who join university in January, they miss these 4 months of fall semester to make connection, to sometimes volunteer, etc. But it's still quite easygoing in terms of adaptation. So I forgot about second part.
Question again.
The second part was about.
Is it feasible to work on a local
Yeah.
job? Sorry.
What? No, it's me. So it's possible, I would say. But it will require a lot of organization, time management, discipline, I would say. So it's hard because the schedule, as I mentioned, when you have 3 days in row, one course, you cannot miss it. Because if you miss, of course, you will miss all assignments and all experience. So that's why it's something quite hard to do. But still, some of the students with the good organizational skills, let's say, can do that. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, again, about the internship, when would you say is a good time to start applying for internship?
Usually we say as soon as you arrive at the uni. Of course, then it's also depend on if you have already an idea what you want to do. Because sometimes it can happen that, like Daisy, with experience in business management strategy, and then finally going in sponsorship and marketing. This year I have students who initially, when they arrived to the uni, she was convinced that she would do it was I think marketing as well, or communication, and finally at the end in June she decided to go toward sport governance. So it's something also depending on if you are sure 100% what you want to do, then you can start applying very quickly, like in October, November. If it's you are still hesitating, then you can take a little bit more time to understand. Because I think even if we're talking about internship of 4 to 6 months, it's important to find a good place, to write the right place, let's say, because if it's not pleasant, even if we're talking about job, it should be how to say, it should be giving you the pleasure going to at work. So I think that's important to understand what you want to do.
Thank you. Now we have someone asking if you have a specific piece of advice for someone who would be moving from their home country, so would be moving to Monaco from the States.
So just from my experience, my dream was actually to move to the States, and to study finance in master. So I went to Chicago to do the GMAT test. If we have finance people, they will know what I'm talking about. However, I didn't get the score that I wanted, so I wasn't able to apply for the university that I want. But the other thing that I found out, I'm a homesick person, and the time difference between, Chicago and Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, was like 8 hours, and it was almost impossible to communicate regularly with my family. So my piece of advice will be, even if you go to a different state, just to see how it's for you, to be far away from your family. Can you manage? Do you feel upset, or still this kind of a difference, I don't know, makes you feel independent, free, and just to rely on yourself. But just first test the water on a closer distance from your family to see if it's okay, and if it is, I'm always a risk taker, to be honest. So I'm always like, better to try instead of at the end regret if I haven't done it. So that's my approach on this type of situation. But it's really a personal approach how you're gonna handle this kind of because it's a big decision to move away from your country and from your family.
For sure.
Thank you. And now we have one last question that is for you again. Throughout your experiences, what would you say was the most difficult challenge for you to overcome?
Just sometimes when I was away from my family, that was the challenge. I just sometimes felt alone, to be honest. But when you have friends around, when you start knowing people around, because I didn't even speak French, guys. So it was it was a little bit tricky at the beginning. But when you see that there are a lot of international people in Monaco, and you can find a common language to communicate it, you start building relationships, friends. They start helping you because, or they're living in the area, or they can help you to set up your utility account, your telephone account, your internet account, and it's just good to have this relationship. But I'm just a very home family oriented person, so that was the biggest challenge for me.
Thank you very much. We have answered all questions. So thank you again very much. I just wanted to tell our audience that our next webinar will be again a special one. It will be on the 16th of July at 4 p.m. this time, so 4 p.m. Monaco time. It will be again with our program director and another professor of the program, and they will be discussing about the past year, so what happened during the year, what was special about this year, and what's going to be special also for the upcoming year. So if you are interested in joining, I think would be a really interesting webinar to attend. Again, thank you very much, Daisy. Thank you, Camille, and it was super interesting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you
Very much.
Bye.
Bye.